Iran is trembling because the crisis has left the negotiating table and appeared at sea. This Monday, May 18, 2026. Reports on X attributed to various news profiles indicate that yesterday's satellite images seem to show the iris. Shahri Shahid Madhavi, a ship linked to Iran's naval apparatus, apparently sinking west of Hormuz Island. While a dark, oil-like stain spreads in the water, the political blow is severe because it happens at the same time the deal with Trump fails. Tehran tries to project strength to the world, and the Revolutionary Guard appears exposed near an area that the regime itself uses to intimidate its opponents. If the identification is correct, it's not just a naval problem, it's a brutal sign of vulnerability. Just when the United States turns up the pressure, Trump rejects a weak proposal from the Guard. Revolutionary Guard in control of the Iranian dictatorship, and Iran tries to hide that its ability to exert pressure is cracking from within. I'll tell you all about it in a moment, but now you'll want to be subscribed to the channel to stay well informed with real-time information in the best journalistic quality ever seen in the Milson Alves standard of credibility. If the identification is correct, we're not talking about just any vessel. The Iris Shahri Shahid Madhavi is a naval platform of the Revolutionary Guard, adapted from a commercial ship to operate as a floating base with the capacity to support drones, helicopters, missiles, and long-range operations. This type of ship is part of the Iranian strategy of turning civilian vessels into military assets, trying to compensate for the weaknesses of the conventional navy with mobile platforms that are difficult to quickly identify. The ship was connected to the regime's ambition to project power beyond the Iranian coast. Instead of relying only on fixed bases, the Revolutionary Guard's plan was to use vessels like the Shahri Shahid Madhavi to carry equipment, serve as support points, and create a constant threat along maritime routes. The Revolutionary Guard itself had already showcased missile launches from the deck of the Shahri Shahid Madhavi, showing that the vessel was not just a symbol but a practical part of Iranian military pressure. At sea, west of Hormuz Island, any sign of a damaged ship becomes an immediate crisis. The location is sensitive because it is close to the area where Iran tries to use military presence, threats, and maritime control as bargaining chips. The image of a possible oil slick coming from an Iranian vessel creates a harsh impression. The regime that tries to scare the world by sea may now be dealing with a serious failure within its own naval structure. The pressing question is simple. What was that ship doing there? According to Iranian military logic, a platform like Shahid Madhavi could be in transit on surveillance, providing logistical support or positioned to demonstrate strength. There is also the possibility that it is connected to the attempt to maintain a presence near the Strait of Hormuz while Tehran negotiates under pressure. The presence of a large vessel in that area in the middle of a crisis with the United States does not seem coincidental. The timing increases the impact. Negotiations between the United States and Iran are stalled. Trump has also made it clear that he does not intend to ease the pressure for free. Axios reported that the White House considered the new Iranian proposal insufficient, with no real progress on suspending uranium enrichment or handing over enriched material stockpiles. A senior American official stated that if Iran does not change its position, the conversation may continue through bombs, signaling that patience has run out. The White House had kept a military strike ready for May 19th, but Donald Trump held back the order because of ongoing negotiations and requests from Middle Eastern allies. Even so, he ordered the United States Armed Forces to be ready for a large-scale attack if no acceptable agreement emerges. This detail puts the alleged sinking of the ship on another level. Iran is not just seeing a vessel at risk, it's seeing military, diplomatic, and psychological pressure coming all at once. The failure of the agreement weighs heavily because the regime wanted to turn time into an advantage. Tehran was trying to drag the crisis out, preserve its nuclear program, retain leverage at sea, and seek some economic relief. But Trump is betting on the opposite path, maintaining the blockade, maintaining the military threat. Axios had already reported that Trump rejected the Iranian idea of first easing the blockade and leaving the nuclear issue for later. For Washington, this move would just be an attempt by Tehran to buy time without giving up anything essential. The possible loss of Shahri Shahid Madhavi affects the image of strength of the Revolutionary Guard. The Iranian regime has always tried to present these ships as a sign of autonomy, military creativity, and the ability to challenge greater powers. Now, a satellite image showing a vessel of this type apparently sinking with a possible oil spill creates a sense of public exposure. There doesn't need to be a filmed explosion for the political damage to happen. It's enough for the world to see that a symbolic piece of Iranian naval power might be failing in front of everyone. The ship may have suffered operational damage, sabotage, an indirect effect of the military crisis, or even a consequence of a rushed transit through a high-tension area. There is still no solid basis to pinpoint a cause, but the context strongly suggests one interpretation. When the regime is under blockade with negotiations stalled, military structures under surveillance, and a looming American threat, any accident becomes suspicious. The Revolutionary Guard has a reason to try to cover up the incident. Admitting that the Shahid Majid Madhavi was lost or seriously damaged would mean acknowledging a failure in one of the regime's military showcases. Denial also comes at a cost because satellite images circulate outside Tehran's control. That's the modern trap. The regime can control state newspapers, official speeches, and internal propaganda, but it can't escape the eyes of satellites, independent analysts, and open-source intelligence profiles. The next step should be to search for new images, compare them with previous records of the ship, analyze the exact position, and check for the slick at sea, and attempt to confirm whether there was a rescue, tugboats, containment operation, or Iranian military movement in the area. If new images show the Shahri Shahid Madhavi more submerged, stationary, or surrounded by naval support, the case changes from a strong rumor to a confirmed crisis. The pressure now falls on Tehran, because silence also communicates. A ship of this size doesn't disappear from the scene without raising questions. An oil spill near a critical route doesn't appear without consequences, and a failed negotiation with Trump can't be separated from the military situation. The regime may be trembling precisely because its strength at sea has become visible proof of vulnerability. I'm Milson Alves, an international affairs specialist, and my purpose is to keep you truthfully informed every day. The news links are in the video description. Like this video, subscribe, and check the comments at the end to engage more with the Milson Alves community.